Hello, Maeya TV. Welcome back to the EACG Fest. I'm Jessica Haro, and I'm here with a very special guest, Heidi. Thank you for coming here. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi everyone, my name's Heidi Lechner. I'll be supporting the event today by moderating our panel a little bit later, and I'm really excited to be here. I'm a Bay Area actor, performer, singer, comedian, and really supportive of the arts in every form, so I'm really happy to be here.
Heidi, tell us about your career as an actor, as a singer.
Oh, thank you. Well, all right. Well, I started out, I'm from New York City. Born in New York City, raised in outside of the city, but always had a passion for being an actor ever since I was in my teens. Although I started, my mom says when I was a little girl, I used to take my hairbrush and sing into the mirror, and that was my thing. So I always played, rock band and always wanted to be the lead singer. So I also did musical theater. I studied with the Actors Institute in New York. I also studied Shakespeare. I was very much into Shakespearean theater. Then I started doing improvisational theater, comedy, and I really had a passion for that. Met my children's father, Kenny Rossler, who's also a songwriter, and we got married, had a child in New York, and then decided to move to the Bay Area. So we lived in Santa Rosa for 25 years, and I still sang. My ex-husband was a songwriter. We performed together, we did an album together, and we continue to do improvisational theater. Over the years, I did a lot of community theater and still kept my passion for acting. Then moved back when my kids were adults back to New York City, and I wanted to give a try to my career again professionally as an actor. Always had a day job. I worked in corporate marketing, and I had a remote job that let me do all that stuff. So I went back to New York. I did theater off Broadway. I worked with the Alpha New York City. I did commercials and shorts, and I really loved doing film. And I also did stand-up comedy, as well as took classes in improv and tried to do a lot more fun projects. A lot of student films like NYU. Then sort of New York, this is pre-COVID, then I moved back down to Florida to be with my mom. Helped her, helped myself, had a job down there that I was working, and did a little bit more theater. While I was in Florida, I auditioned for a national commercial that was for a pharmaceutical company. I got the job. They were looking for actors who had any experience with mental illness or any mental challenges. I happened to go through things like that, so I got the job. That brought me to LA. So I went to LA, and that was super exciting. Then I moved back to New York. From Florida to California. So I've been here for a year. Loving being back. Since I've been back, I was with the Black Repertory Theater. I did a play by Ishmael Reed that I had a great time doing. He's a fabulous author, by the way. And then I also did I did a movie called Oceanic Feeling. That's was a really great experience, a short film. And I have a current show I'm working on that I could tell you more about, but that's how I got here.
So you did a lot of theater and improv work before doing some on-screen work. How did that experience help you as you transitioned to the screen?
That's a great question. I would say it's very different, number one. Theater is kind of bigger than life. You have to project. You're not on screen. You're in front of hundreds of people, and if you have a mic, that's great, but there are times you don't, so you have to really project and also relay to the audience that what's happening. On film, you could literally think something and the camera picks it up. In one moment, you could smile a different way, and the mood and everything about that scene changes. So I'd say film, I enjoy in a different way. I think I have a big personality, so being on stage is very, a great place to really express myself. But film is subtle, and also the relationship you have with other actors in a film is very intimate. For example, I was filming this recent film, The Short, and I played a mom and I had a son, and we were arguing, and we had to retake the argument, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And it was, by the end, we were both so exhausted, because you exude all this emotion, but it was such a thrilling experience. I want to do more, for sure.
Now tell us about the show that you're working on now.
I would love to. So on November 3rd and 17th, I'll be doing a short performance, 20-minute set at the Marsh Theater in San Francisco on Valencia Street at 7 p.m. It's a Monday night. It's called Monday Night Marsh, and it's really for new performers who are trying to work material to introduce what they're doing. So my show is called Bipolar-ish, A Journey of Awakening with a Prescription on the Side. And it's comedy, it's a little bit of song, it's storytelling, and it's moving, and it's really my journey in struggling with bipolar disorder and my own overcoming, managing, working with it, and not letting it define my life, but how I can have it and thrive. So it's really more for also education, like getting rid of the stigma, lifting the veil of not talking about these things. And so it's also kind of an education. My hope is after the show at the Marsh, I can expand it to a longer show. I also have another performance on December 18th at the Rocks on Main in Martinez, and that's going to be a musical jazz duo performance where I'm just going to sing with my cohort Benjamin Paul, who's an amazing jazz pianist and lives in Oakland.
So you've done theater in New York as well as here in the Bay Area. What are the differences that you've noticed in the theater scenes between the two cities?
Interesting. I would say, in general, it's sort of like California in general, it's a little more laid back. Mm-hmm. I would say New York is a little more stressful. There's a little more, like a show I did was called 12 Angry Women, based on the 12 Angry Men. And I think we had a week and a half to get off script. And then also my agent in New York, auditions, come on, we gotta go. It was very quick turnaround. I've done, not that they're very professional here in the Bay Area. I would just say in general, the attitude is a little bit more relaxed.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of projects would you like to work on in the future?
Good question. I would say I'm really a fan of comedy. I would like to do more comedic projects. My mother, who passed last year, wrote a book called Maxine, and it was about the journey of a middle-aged woman who saves the world from global warming. It's a great book, and she did a screenplay, and I thought about doing a stage play out of it, and I've never written a play, so it would be really interesting. So that's one thing I'm thinking of doing. I would like to do more movies, for sure. I think a film really excites me. I'd love more projects in film, shorts, and voiceover work is new for me. I'm getting invited by my agent to do more auditions with voiceovers, and so I'd love to get a gig doing that. That would be really cool.
And do you have any advice for people who are trying to get into theater and film acting? Sure.
I would say, of course, take classes at school, explore outside of school. Maybe there's groups or offerings, places. Just get your feet wet in safe places, safe environments where you can explore it, first thing. If you love it and you want to pursue it, I think education is very important. So I would say if you're going to go to college, major in theater. I would say audition. There's tons of opportunities to audition in the Bay Area. There's something called Backstage. It's an app. You can upload your picture, your resume, and you yourself can submit to either shows, plays, musicals, and film commercials. And it's something to explore, because you might get one opportunity, even to audition. And I'd say don't be afraid or nervous if like the first, second, third time you don't get a callback or even a job. That it's really about the attitude of going into an audition with a sense of confidence, but also no expectation. In fact, you hear actors talk all the time. I got the role because I didn't care. You know, I got the role because I didn't come in desperate, or I didn't come in with, you know, this attitude that I had to get the part. So I think just understanding your value and also being curious and a learner, so that when you're on set or on stage, to really listen to your director, to listen to, not to take criticism personally, and that when you're, I know everyone's sensitive, but if you're in a show and your director gives you direction, it's not personal. It's like, that's their vision and what they see. When I was doing the movie recently, I just was told, okay, do it, put this into it, or more anger or less or whatever, and you just go with the flow. And so you need to be, as an actor especially, you are a vessel. You know, you're just, so I say acting classes, audition for your school plays, you know, improv, do improv, take improv classes. Great start to feeling, getting out of yourself, and especially if you have stage fright. Yeah, so that's how I would, give advice.
Thank you so much for meeting with us, Heidi. Where can our audience find out more about your work?
Well, I think right now I don't have like a website per se, but you could go on IMDb. I do have a page, and I also I'm on Instagram, Heidi Law _65. I post about my shows. I also teach classes. I do voice coaching, so you could find out about me there. And the Marsh on November 4th and November 17th. The Marsh in San Francisco on Valencia Street. If you go to their website, themarsh.org, it shows the Monday Night Marsh. So love to see you there.
Thank you so much. And audience, I hope you go out and support her work. And stay tuned. We're going to have more interviews throughout the weekend. Bye.